Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone is well and hope everyone is enjoying their holidays with their family. So today's video is going to be about me and Jackson's name meanings and how Jackson's name actually came to be, which is a really funny story. So anyway, my name is Jessica Renee Pitts. So Jessica means God watches, God sees. Renee means reborn or rebirth, and I'm not really sure what Pitts means, so I'm gonna skip that one. So for Jackson's name, it's really funny because last year, okay, before I say that, his name was originally supposed to be Jamari, which means handsome or beautiful. So, in the beginning, I already knew it would just be me and him. So, my auntie actually suggested that I name him the same initials as me. So, I started looking up names, and you guys know most time people want biblical names, and I did want something godly, but I wanted something that was biblical and spiritual, right? Because I'm kind of more spiritual now, but I really believe in God, so I wanted something that kind of went around that as well. And so, anyway, last year, my mom and my cousins took the pregnant ladies out because it's like five of us pregnant around the same time. And so we went out. And so at the table, my mom said, "Well, how about Jamari?" And, my cousins and everybody was like, "Okay, we like that name." So I started looking it up. And I'm really big on name meanings. So I didn't want something that would just be a physical thing. I wanted something that actually had a good meaning. So last year when I went into the hospital, no, I think it was, yeah, December when I went to the hospital. Me and the lady was talking about it and she asked if I picked out a name. And I told her, yeah, Jamari. And then, because it was so funny, because I thought it was a confirmation, because she had actually said, yeah, you got to take care of your beautiful baby and things like that. And I was like, okay, great. That's a confirmation. Jamari, right? So, Rashad was, when I started looking for names, I was looking for our names that went with that. And so Rashad just would not leave me alone, y'all. Like, it stayed on my mind and stayed on my mind and stayed on my mind. I could not get it out of my mind when I was trying to find a name. And so I was like, okay, great. So anyway, his name was going to be Jamari Rashad Pitts. So if you watch my labor and delivery story, then you know, like, I had a hard delivery, a hard labor, everything. And so the morning after my after my delivery, my mom woke up and was like, "Hey, I think you should change his name to Jackson." And I was like, "Why?" "We already have a name picked out, Jamari Rashad Pitts." And she was like, "But Rashad can go with Jackson as well." And then she started telling me what it means, which I'll tell you guys a little bit later when I reveal his full name. But anyway, so she started telling me about the name meaning, and I was kind of going back and forth. So it was so funny because she started talking to the nurses about it. And I told them, well, he already has a name, or it was, well, I wasn't really sure because she had brought the name to me. I said, well, he already has a name that we picked out. And so my mom kept saying, it's okay. I think because of the way everything went with your pregnancy, your delivery, your labor and delivery, I think that this is a great name. So anyway, the nurses started saying, yeah, we really like Jackson better than Jamari. And I was like, well, okay. And so I just kept playing around with it all day. And y'all, it was so funny because this baby nurse actually was like, hey y'all, so I'm back. I had to go and take care of Jackson really quickly. But yeah, so I was saying his baby nurse kept saying bye Jackson every time she left. And I was like, I didn't say that's what his name was gonna be. So the social security or birth certificate people called me and asked me how I picked out a name. And I kept saying, give me a little bit more time because I wasn't sure. I had a name, but I was trying to see if I was gonna stick with it, etc., etc. So they was like, okay. And so, anyway, my mom came in and was like, so have you decided to change your name yet? All the nurses were on board. They're like, Jackson, Jackson, Jackson. It was so funny. My mom just convinced them people to be on, but they was like, yeah, we like that name better than Jamara anyway. And so, long story short, I decided to do my post because when I was pregnant, I did not post at all. Not too many people know I was pregnant at all. And so decided to do my post, and y'all, I decided to change my baby's name to Jaxon. So his full name is Jaxon Rashad Pitts. And his name, Jaxon, means God's graciousness and mercy, because my mom was saying after everything, we had endured, that would have been such a great name for him. And it was in her spirit, and however, things like that. So Jaxon means God's graciousness and mercy. Rashad means wisdom. And my baby is so smart, y'all. Not just like bragging on him, but I'm like literally saying he's so smart. And so Jaxon Rashad Pitts. There's Jessica Renee Pitts and then Jaxon Rashad Pitts. And it's funny because our names mean almost the same thing. So like I said before, Jessica is God watches. Renee means rebirth or reborn. Jaxon is God's mercy and graciousness. And Rashad means wisdom. So, y'all, I am so happy. And I just thought it was so cool how everything turned out. Sometimes you don't really think that things will be the way that they are, but it still turns out to be your biggest blessing, sometimes. And for me, that's how my story turned out. That's how our names turned out, because I was actually supposed to be named something else at first too, but then I ended up being named Jessica. So guys, look who decided to come and join me. This little angel right here. He's watching his show and playing with his toy. But yeah, anyway, guys, I was saying, so my name was supposed to be something else, but ended up being Jessica. And maybe if my mom is up to it or if she's okay with it, I'll have her come and tell a little bit of her birth story when it comes to the birth of me. But yeah, so I was saying, sometimes things in life turn out way different than you anticipate, and that is exactly what turned out. Sorry, what happened with this situation. But I am so happy. We are so blessed. I love that our names came so close in meaning. And what's crazy is he actually ended up being born at the same hospital as me as well. So y'all, when I talk about like it was just destined, because from the beginning to the end of our story so far, it's been crazy, but so worth it and such a blessing. Like to get to be a mom every day, to have almost the same meaning as my baby, or him to have the same meaning as me almost, is amazing. Is a blessing. So y'all, anyway, I'm gonna stop it here. I just wanted to get on and talk about our name meanings and how Jaxon's name came to be. So everyone, enjoy the rest of your nights. Enjoy the holidays. New Year is in a couple of days. So enjoy that time with your family. And I will see you guys, or we will see you guys in the next one. God bless you all.